If you could take one villain from the Adam West Batman, like, and put him in like this type of Batman, Batman '89, who would it be?
Out of my mouth, the Riddler was the first that came to my mind.
But he's already in it. So the ones from those episodes, so like King Tut,
that haven't been
Egghead, that kind of bullshit.
God,
actually, I'll just give you this: King Tut or Egghead. Those two in this type of Batman. Egghead would be way better because how do you explain King Tut?
Yeah.
His transformation and all that. I was lying in bed thinking about that this morning.
Well, there's a reason they haven't been, because they all suck.
Yeah, they were. As much as I know and love Batman, I don't know that much about Batman. If Egghead was ever in the comic books, like, why would he? I mean, he's like a typical ridiculous type of character to be put in like the Adam West Batman universe, right? Yeah. You don't see him being fucking cool as shit fighting Christian Bale or, any of those. You got to stick with the more terrifying, because Riddler was terrifying in the Adam West Batman. His constant laughter and everything, even though he had that grease paint mustache, he still scared you a little.
Yeah, that actor did a great job. Wish I knew his name.
Cesar Romero.
All the returning characters, really. Penguin.
Oh yeah,
Riddler,
Burgess Meredith,
Catwoman.
Catwoman was fucking cool as shit too. But you just had those like fucking B-list Monday morning stripper type of character. Yeah. Where it's just like they're there because they're there. Yeah. Sorry, Monday morning strippers.
I love that show, man. I watched that a lot.
Yeah, me too. As a kid, after Perry Mason, it was my mom would give me and my sister oatmeal cream pies to like sit and watch this. I'm sure she was studying or something, because she was going to school. And I remember eating my oatmeal cream pie before the credits were over with, and my sister like savoring hers and just enjoying it for the 30-minute adventure we were about to go on. And I'm just so jealous that she's got her still. And I'm like, why don't I have one? And my mom's like, I can't give you another one. So, well, why doesn't she give me some of hers? That's not a allegory for socialism. That's capitalism. Yeah, welcome to Sequilibrium. My name's Mike.
Chad.
And today we're doing Batman Returns. And don't you have a shout out to do too?
I was more excited about Batman Returns a month ago than I am now. I don't know
because it's not Christmas anymore?
Maybe because I tried to go back and watch Batman Forever.
Why would you do that?
And I'm like, this isn't as good as I remember.
No,
but I liked Batman Forever for the longest time.
The only reason why I like Batman Forever is because it's nostalgic to an amazing summer I had in 1995. That's like the only reason why I like Batman Forever. And I've watched it recently too. And it's like, I know this movie's fucking stupid.
But do you like Jim Carrey in that movie? Because I kind of
He's the only thing that was good about it, really, as the Riddler. Like, who else could play the Riddler? Which I'm so stoked to see this new Robert Pattinson Batman with the Riddler as the main villain, because the Riddler never had that first shot that like he was the first one. It's always the Joker is the first one.
Yeah.
And this one's cool because it's the Riddler and the Penguin. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. You know what though?
But
my brother and I went to see Licorice Pizza. Yesterday.
Yeah.
And before that, they had a trailer for the Batman.
Oh, nice.
And I felt disappointed.
Really?
It was kind of that same way. I've been so stoked up till now, but there was something about sitting there in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And experiencing it that way. That I felt kind of let down.
Versus seeing it on like your phone on YouTube.
Right.
You felt like the screen, the big screen made you not as excited.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would feel differently about it.
Oh,
like
me too.
The loud noises and the fucking larger images.
Maybe just the trailer itself wasn't as good as I remember it being.
Maybe you were just tired and grumpy.
I bet. Maybe. I don't know. I was with my brother. I felt pretty good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're about to see a PTA movie.
Yeah. By the way, I mean it's good.
Is it good?
It is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Worth
I
that.
mean, it's not There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
It's not Magnolia or Phantom Thread or fucking the other countless amazing films that Paul Thomas Anderson has made, but it's pretty damn good.
Nice.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman's son playing that lead role is poetic.
I was
to
going to say
the
that's
least.
pretty amazing that
The master.
yeah. I mean, that's like them using James Gandolfini's son to play young Tony Soprano.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that kind of makes that movie get itself like 20 more points in
exactly.
like greatness.
Right. And I think that's the thing that I liked most about this film.
It helped you like it more.
Yeah, it was like, so often I'd be like, that's fucking, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son right there. Playing this role.
Speaking of Philip Seymour Hoffman and not Batman, did you ever see Pirate Radio?
Yeah, it's been a long, long time though.
I fucking love that movie.
Wasn't he the DJ in
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, he was the American DJ on the ship.
Right.
So fucking good. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again.
Did you ever see Happiness?
No.
Oh my God.
Check it out.
You and I are going to watch some Happiness.
Okay. All right.
Have you ever seen Storytelling? These are two films from Todd Solondz.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard that name? Director, what else did he do? Palindromes.
No. Let's just assume I don't know any.
We're
going to
get into it. We're going to get into it.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. Oh, Batman Returns. That's what we're doing.
Let's see. Let's talk about 89 for a minute. Batman 89 was fucking awesome.
Yes.
I saw it in the theater for my birthday when it came out in 89. So I was 8 years old. I mean, you go from fucking Adam West Batman, superpowers Batman, granted those were in the 60s, but they were syndicated for us as kids, and the cartoon was in the 80s. So it's like, that's my Batman. And then fucking Michael Keaton comes out as fucking Batman. I'm trying to think if I remembered Michael Keaton from anything prior to this. And yes, Johnny Dangerously. When I was a kid, we would watch Johnny Dangerously at my uncle's house. Huh. And I mean, this sparks that dramatic actor, like the way that Michael Keaton can portray this fucking comedy gangster movie to Batman.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think of things to, like the things to bring up about this. And this is another one of those movies that like sparked, that will spark a toy conversation.
For sure.
So like Toy Biz put out these Batman toys that were like geared towards the Michael Keaton Batman. Mm-hmm. And it was like basically kind of like an offshoot of the Kenner Superpowers toys that came out. Do you remember those? You squeeze the legs and the arms would punch. You squeeze the arms and Flash's legs would move. Do you remember those at all?
Not really.
Oh my God. I have a really nice collection of them. But like, the coolest one was Batman. His belt pulled out so it could be like a zip line. So he could like zip himself, but the fucking cord would always pull too far and then be hanging there loose and never zip back into the belt.
Naturally. Naturally.
Oh my God, it was so annoying. But they put out like the Joker, who you put this thing on his back that was like had a little pouch that you filled water and squeeze it and water would come out of his lapel.
Yeah.
And he came with a top hat and a cane, which is nothing like the Jack Nicholson Joker, which I mean, it was so weird. Huh. Like they're trying to sell it as the Batman movie Joker, but it definitely was not.
I wonder why.
And it was like a weird hybrid of the Superpowers Joker, which was that one was so cool. He came with tails for his coat. And you squeezed his arm and his hand would swing down a mallet. It was I have the complete version with the lapel and the mallet. It's so fucking cool. I love it. The sculpt on it was great. Anyways, and then the other character that they made that tied into the movie was Bob. Do you remember Bob? Bob was his henchman, his right-hand man.
No, I don't remember Bob.
Remember when he's like, why doesn't somebody tell me he had one of those things?
Oh,
and he's talking about the bat, and then he's like, Bob,
yes,
gun.
yes.
And then he shoots Bob.
Of course, yeah. Bob.
So Bob's action power was like this kick. As if Bob was constantly kicking people through the movie. Bob wasn't even really in the movie that much to like require a toy. Yeah. And then Kenner took over the line again for the Batman Returns line, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah, back to Bob though. He did play an effective part in that movie.
What do you mean?
There's something about him.
Oh, I know. There definitely was something about him. The one, like him just like being there, like taking notes when they're running through the fucking gallery, spray painting anything. Oh, okay. He painted on that one. We tipped over that one. He's just fucking taking inventory the whole goddamn time.
They're really going to pay him back. They're just taking note of what they're destroying.
Yeah. They're like,
Joker's a really nice guy. He's just a little eccentric. That's all.
And then Bob takes the opportunity. He's like, you know what? I'm going to stop being the treasurer, the secretary here. Put his notepad away. And he's like, I'm going to fucking fuck this painting up. Pulls out that big ass Crocodile Dundee knife. And the Joker's like, no. I like this one.
Yeah.
Bob had his opportunity. He's like,
yeah.
Everybody else got to fuck shit up.
Might be one of the 10 best parts of the movie is that scene right there.
The fucking
stops him.
Oh yeah. Bob, I like this one. It's all like fucking dead bodies hanging from hooks or whatever. Yeah. I love that whole scene in general. Fucking like Lawrence. The Prince fucking song starts. It's a black and white, red and green.
Yeah.
I had that soundtrack when I was a kid. That's how much I loved Batman that year. My parents got me Riddler because Toy Biz put out Riddler as well, and it came with like a little list of riddles as his quote unquote power. And I remember saying to my mom, "How much did you pay for this? Why? Why does it matter? Why was I like this 8-year-old kid wanting to know the finances that my parents put towards my toys?"
Right.
And what else? I got this diecast Batman mobile. I got this Batman watch, and I got the Batman soundtrack.
Damn.
One of the first inappropriate albums my parents allowed me to have when I was 8 years old. Because Prince has this line, "Get the fuck up," during the Bat Dance. And whose favorite song on the album? was Bat Dance was my favorite song on that record.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Batman, you can't go wrong with it. And I'm so fucking excited to see Michael Keaton portray Batman again in The Flash. Like, he's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
You know about that whole thing,
do,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's so fucking cool. And, like, the other cool thing they could do is, I mean, almost the entire universe is in agreement that Bruce Wayne is Michael Keaton is Bruce Wayne. And Batman Beyond is in the future where Bruce Wayne is old and he's training this new Batman. I mean, right fucking there. Everyone's asking for it. It's
nice.
It's right in our faces.
Yeah.
Why aren't they doing it?
So do you think that's what it is?
No, what it is, it's a different timeline in the movie. What they could do in the future, though, is Batman Beyond, and it would be fucking rad. I mean, what are they waiting for? You know, Michael Keaton looks perfect for like that perfect age. He's not too old, but he has that gray hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Batman Returns, I remember when that came out, I saw it again on my birthday. What year did this come out? 90, right? It was like right after.
I want to say 92, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds about right.
As late as 92.
Yeah. I did see that. I did see it on my birthday. I did get it for Christmas on VHS that year.
I don't think I ever had that one on VHS.
I got Batman 89 on VHS for Christmas when it came out too.
Wouldn't you agree that the bat suit has never looked better than it did in 1 and 2?
Oh my God, it's fucking. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah,
because they kind of went weird with the nipples in Forever and and Robin.
I mean, I'm sure it fucking sucked for Michael Keaton.
Putting on that latex shit and everything.
Yeah, but it looks great.
One of the scenes I like so much in Return, for some reason, is how he rips the mask off when he's talking to Selena.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always liked that. It was just like the way he just did it was so effortlessly, like, but he didn't have the black around his eyes. I always expected that, like when he rips it off, to have, but and that's what they did with Robert Pattinson. When he's not wearing the cowl, you could see the black around his eyes. And I mean, it's like almost as if they tapped into my inner thought of a child and was like, this is what everyone was expecting and they didn't get.
Right.
Let's give it to them.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing to want, even. But, you know.
I get it, though.
All right, let's start Batman Returns and be shocked that Paul Rubens is in it.
Let's do it.
I thought that part. You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Oh, man.
Isn't Christopher Walken in it, too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, and I hate his fucking son, Chip. What a fucking cis male that guy is. Anyways, Batman Returns. Don't go. For you, even? I asked Chad if he was ready, and he said, ready, and the microphone wasn't even on. Batman Returns.
I like it.
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin on the fucking awesomeness of Batman Returns?
Let's begin with Danny DeVito, because he's the best part of the movie.
And who knew Danny DeVito could do something like that at the time? You know, watching now, obviously we know that Danny DeVito's got those chops. But Taxi, Twins, all this shit before this movie. And then he comes out as being the fucking best Penguin that they could probably ever do. Like, they've redone the Joker 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah. And now they're doing the Penguin again with Russell Crowe in The Batman, which I told you earlier it reminds me of the Penguin from Batman the Arkham Asylum games.
Yeah.
But this Penguin is like fucking crazy. Perfect over the top level of Burgess Meredith turned up to 11.
It's only happened a couple times when you and I have watched movies together, but there was one line that he had that I wanted to rewind it, but this is a 2-hour and 7-minute movie. Mm-hmm. And I've been up 48 hours. Yeah. So I decided against it, but I will, because it's just it works so well.
The Fill the Void?
No.
Which one was it?
He's like running out of breath as he's talking, and at the end, with his last little bit of breath, he does the whole like penguin.
He uses that to his advantage, running out of breath, because he's got prosthetics in his mouth. Yeah. So I'm sure like talking is really difficult. Sure. But I mean, yeah, he used the to like kind of like catch up.
I love it. I love the makeup. I love the costume. There are a few moments where like
you could see the shoulder pads.
Yeah, it's kind of wrinkled up in a way that your dirty laundry does the same thing.
I love that he goes everywhere in his full body, his Mormon magic underwear, as if he were going shopping at Walmart after all this. From the backside, he looked like a Walmart customer. Yeah. Giant ass and it's flat.
From the front.
From the front, even, yeah. What do you mean I can't return this? I bought it a year ago. I'll make you pay. I'll make this whole store pay. Yeah, I love how funny it was, too. Like, when he was dying and he was approaching Batman and he goes to pick up an umbrella and he goes, shit. I picked a cute one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the perfect level, perfect Penguin for this, where it's a bit of comical, bit of comic booky, bit of like Adam West Batman.
Nice blend, yeah.
But with that Tim Burton twist to it. Yeah. The childhood nightmare come to life.
Again, it shouldn't work. It shouldn't work. None of this film, with the exception of the cinematography, should really work.
Catwoman is that what you're referring to as well?
Oh,
her constant lives,
sure. Yeah,
of like how did the spirit of the cat transfer her into her body just by chewing on her finger? Yeah. And licking her lips,
licking her costume.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that when she was like, I need to take a shower.
How much better would it have been if like she just got done with some fight and she goes to take off her costume, and then she starts licking her skin.
Her skin
instead.
versus yeah. Well, I mean, clearly she couldn't get out of that outfit.
That's
easily.
True. That's true, yeah.
I mean, that's like Olivia Newton-John style end of Grease, where it's like, I got to pee. Can you help me out of this? Oh no, you got 3 more hours before you can go pee.
If only they had candid video of that footage instead of using the whip,
right? Like the getting ready in the suit.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be very, very good, because that would mean someone's recording her while she's getting dressed. Like, oh, it's just for historical purposes only.
It's not me. I wasn't the one that recorded it. I'm just watching it.
Besides Michelle Pfeiffer, who else in this movie is a Sequilibrium alum?
Ooh.
I had to look it up, so I don't think you'll get it.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, that's how deep it is.
I don't know who.
The mugger, when she played tic-tac-toe on his face,
yeah,
he was the lead of the Puerto Rican drug guys in Predator 2. The one who's like, "Oh, Scorpio," and he took the big old sniff.
What made you even think to look it up?
Because I looked at him and I'm like, why does that guy look so familiar?
Really?
Why? Like, it's like I see it. I see the face. I can't see the scene, and I'm like, I can't figure it out. So, yeah, I looked it up, and then I'm like, holy shit!
I do see you occasionally when we're watching a movie. You'll get this look on your face, and then I see you pick up your phone.
Useless knowledge that I need to make money from this. Like, who else is talking about Predator 2 and Batman Returns connection?
Yeah,
there's
wait a second. I must know who this guy is.
Not a single person on the internet could connect those dots, but I can, and I did. So I deserve some money for that shit. What Batmobile did you like? I mean, okay, obviously Batman Returns are the same exact Batmobile, but you have a different Batmobile in Batman Forever, different Batmobile in Batman and Robin, and then Christopher Nolan. The Tumbler. Which one did you like the most?
You know the answer to this question.
Is this one?
Yeah.
The other ones are so fucking stupid.
Don't get me wrong, I like the Tumbler. But I think even more, I just like the use of it. The way Nolan used it, it worked for his reimagining of Batman, I guess you could say. But this is the Batmobile to have.
Well, like I told you earlier, is that Christopher Nolan's Batman is if Batman were a real guy who had the real ability to make these gadgets. Like you see in Dark Knight, he's got the fucking grappling hook hanging from his belt, and it's not hidden like this one where it just calls with the push of a button.
Right.
So that one was more practical. So I think the Tumbler, like you said, works in that universe just like all the other nonsense works in that universe.
Yep.
But this Batmobile, I was like constantly calling it that, like from New Girl. If you guys ever seen that episode, it's really funny. But yeah, this one is the best one. It is like, it's perfect. It's iconic. It's a mixture of comic book and a mixture of like, this works on film.
Yeah. Yeah. Best bat suit, best Batmobile.
I really think if Michael Keaton wasn't so like, I want more money to do the third one, the series could have been awesome.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Was that ultimately what it was?
And I also feel like that's why I remember hearing it on MTV News when I was a kid, and I was really upset.
Wow.
But I feel like without Keaton, that's when it took that turn into like this neon colored, like just all bright lights. The shit. I mean, have you seen the movie? Everybody knows how terrible it is.
You know, it's probably the best decision he made, considering the amount of money he's going to make coming back as Bruce Wayne.
Oh my God, I know. It's like almost as if he knew that one day there was going to be, he was that good, and that the 8-year-olds who watched it were going to be in their 40s and still have that connection with
completely getting their rocks off now, just thinking about watching him on screen.
I definitely,
as Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't tell you how stoked I am to see him do that. I love. Now, as an adult watching this movie, you understand that corruption undertone to it. As a kid, I had no idea why Max Schreck wanted the Penguin to become mayor. I had no idea what even that power plant bullshit was. I just liked the images of Batman fighting Catwoman.
You just brush right past that.
Yeah. Dialogue doesn't matter to me. When's Batman going to be on screen?
Right.
And I love watching it as an adult and having a little bit more of an understanding of like, oh, okay, Cobblepot, that's like Trump right now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, clearly this fucking idiot was used as a pawn for these people to get what they wanted. Yeah. And while Max Schreck is using Cobblepot to get the power plant.
Yeah, there were some lines that I remember as a kid when I was watching it, just kind of waiting for him, like, just the pussy I've been waiting for.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I knew that as a kid. Yeah, I got that reference because, I had a vulgar dad, so I knew what that shit meant. and Returns, I was... Let's see, 92. I was 11 years old.
The Poontang reference.
The Poon. I didn't know that at all. Yeah. At all. And that's what sold the Penguin on Running for Mayor was the Poontang.
Yeah.
And I love that fucking Christopher Walken's like, and the Poontang.
And groping.
Yeah. Oh my God. All the fuck. Yeah. I mean, I looked it up on IMDb beforehand while I was looking up for the Predator 2 guy, and I saw that this is a 7 out of 10. And with all the gripes that we have just mentioned, yeah, that gives me wanting to give it a 7 out of 10. Because it's a great fucking movie, but there's all this stupid bullshit in it, too.
I'd like to feel her.
I'd like to feel her, teach her my French flipper trick. I mean, right, but again, at the same time, you can't say that that's not kind of like the version of Burgess Meredith Penguin. Like, I mean, if the TV show was not in 66 and it was in 90 and it was TV 14. Yeah. I think the Penguin would say some shit like that.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that in animated series as well, the cartoon, that the Penguin in that one was a representation of this Penguin. Like he looked the same. He had the same outfit on, even like the tuxedo and shit. Paul Rubens is the Penguin's dad.
Yeah.
You've totally forgot about that.
Yep.
I remember as a kid being like, why is Pee Wee Herman on this? Because Tim Burton directed Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, Tim Burton did that?
Tim Burton did that movie. I mean, that's the connection. I don't know if Tim Burton was like, hey, Paul, want to do this movie?
I had no idea, or at least had forgotten that Tim Burton directed that movie.
Isn't that awesome?
That makes me want to watch it again. I mean, I love it, obviously.
Danny Elfman
does.
again doing the soundtrack.
I even loved Pee-wee's Big Top.
I saw it once, didn't like it. Didn't like it.
With the vegetables?
I don't even remember it. I just remember it being the circus, and I did not give a shit.
That's funny.
I saw it at my grandma's, and that was the only time I've ever seen it. Yeah. Prince or Danny Elfman? As far as the music goes for the movies.
That's tough. I'd say Danny Elfman.
I feel like for this movie, Danny Elfman works because it's kind of circusy already, and like it plays on that red circle game.
They work just
for their each
the way
own
they
movie.
need to
Exactly,
work. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because these are really they're two different movies,
and
but the tone is the same because it's Burton. You get that same feel.
And to get what you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about earlier is the parade scene. And if it weren't for that that first one, and if it weren't for that Prince song, Trust, it wouldn't have made that scene just as good.
Definitely my favorite when I was a kid. Was that saying? Yeah.
Trust, who do ya?
Throwing the money around.
Who makes a real one love and trust? I don't even remember. I just kind of like hummed that part. Let's see. I wrote down some other things that I was like, don't forget this. Michelle Pfeiffer as the Catwoman. We just kind of like touched a little bit on the transformation part.
We can touch it.
We can touch on her. I felt so much pity for her as like a person. Like I just kind of would be her friend out of sympathy. Like if I saw her at a movie by herself, I'd sit next to her and be like, hey, you need a friend? I think everyone that she everything that she did to people, they got what they deserved because of how they treated her.
Why are you so mean to someone so meaningless?
I know, my God, that line just fucking tore me in two.
I know, I could tell.
Oh, it was so
I think you had a
sad.
tear in your eye. Is that why you had to get up and go to the bathroom around that time?
Just to go cry for a little bit. Pushes her out the fucking window. He terrorized her.
And didn't even check, didn't even have the body taken away.
Yeah, just
wasn't
left it in the
concerned
alley.
about the fact that he might be the one blamed for this death. He just leaves her there.
This is Gotham City. There's bodies lying everywhere. Batman just left that fucking body parts of that muscle man in the fucking tunnel.
Yeah. And I was waiting. I kind of had forgotten how she ultimately became Catwoman.
Oh, the whole
and then
thing with the cats
they're,
chewing.
like, chewing on her fingers and stuff.
I mean, what was it that brought the cats to her, too? That's the other
Yeah.
thing. Like, I mean, oh, she has a cat at home. She's a friend to cats. Let's take her away or something. Why was
Right.
the cats attracted to her?
Right.
And why was Shrek using Felix the Cat logo? Why did Batman feel the need to put his logo on fucking everything in this movie?
He's got bumper stickers
got-
beneath his desk.
Yeah, he's fucking. He's first aiding himself, and underneath his mini fridge with Batman buttons on it, he's got the piece of paper he gives the note to Penguin has the Batman logo on it. The CD player has the Batman logo on it. It's almost
Discman.
yeah, it's almost as if they took the jokes from the Adam West Batman, like the bat repellent shark spray, and put bat on front of every fucking thing.
That was pretty cool, though. I want one of those turntable Discmans.
Yeah,
You
with
could
the disc
scratch
exposed.
the disc.
Why did he do that? Just to be like, hey, look at me, Penguin. It's me doing it. Check out this funky beat, Alfred. Yeah. That's Batman Returns for you. Still great. Still fucking great. Still great as a kid. Oh, yeah, one more thing I want to bring up before we jump into some IMDb stuff.
Well, okay. What's that?
What do you got?
I was just going to say, is there anything you can think of that would make this movie better than it was?
Batman having black paint around his eyes when he ripped off his mask.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, really, every movie's going to have something that makes you go, huh, to it. That one will always stick with me and always be at the top of my list.
I said it earlier. Doesn't this feel like it's just got an unlimited budget? Like they were like, hey, just send us the bill.
Do what you want.
Do what you want. Tell us what you need. We'll get the people.
I feel like the set could have been differently. Like they reused so many locations versus like the other one. Like the movie actually showed the city.
Yeah.
It showed like an actual. I don't think it was necessarily a real gallery, but that fucking building was ginormous. And this one felt. I wouldn't say it made me feel claustrophobic, but it really felt more enclosed versus the first Batman, which I felt more was like an open world.
Yeah.
Well, this one was like a map that you can't really, like, if you go beyond the boundaries, it'd turn you around.
You know, we hinted at it just a little bit ago, but if you go on YouTube, you can find a video Mike showed me earlier of Michelle Pfeiffer using her whip to
knock the heads off of the mannequins
Exactly.
in one take.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And the best part about it is the crew, like applauding like crazy, like right afterwards.
You know,
It's
I'm
just,
still
like,
not
massive.
I'm still not completely convinced that they at least didn't have something ready for the heads to come off.
Right, like,
because
you
it
kinda
seems
feel it.
ridiculous that they would have been like, "All right, action,"
And then she just
You
does
know,
it
yeah,
perfectly.
yeah, right.
But look,
So-
did you see when the whip snapped and the air just like,
Yeah,
kind of? Like,
I mean,
she
I
knew
did
what she
see-
was doing.
I did see that she knew what she was doing, but at the same time, I do believe there was somebody waiting to make sure the heads went off every time she snapped the whip.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she might have come close, but there's no way. I don't believe it.
All right,
for
well,
one
maybe
second.
we'll have to do a little bit of I believe it. Chad doesn't believe it. But I also am a romantic, so I also believe things like that are real.
Yeah, I don't. So that's
I don't. Did you notice the tall, lanky tall, lanky clown running the spotlight when the penguin was doing his speech?
Right.
That's Doug Jones. He plays Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movie. He plays like a Pan's Labyrinth. He was the eye guy.
Oh, really?
He was in Buffy played a lot of monsters in Buffy. He's like,
you sure give me a lot of Buffy references. Considering I've never seen a Buffy episode.
I recommend starting at least on season 3. I'll fill you in on the first 2. But I would.
You would have to hypnotize me.
Oh, dude, you're just missing out if you don't watch it. It's so.
How many seasons?
7.
7.
Yeah.
See, that sounds so daunting. My brother and I were talking about this the other day. I mean, there's just so much content now. Somebody mentions a new show to me that's got more than 4 or 5 seasons.
You just
fuck that.
Yeah, that's
I ain't got time for that shit. I got things piled up in my queue.
It's definitely an investment.
Yeah.
And especially like if you, I mean, it was from the 90s and the 2000s, and if you hadn't seen it at this point, you're probably not going to want to invest 7 seasons worth of your time into it because they're hour-long episodes. Each season, besides the first, has 22 episodes. There's probably 10 that are story-based, while the other 12 are filler episodes.
Yeah.
So you really have to love the characters, love the concept, love the show to really get past all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Doug Jones. I went to a Buffy fest in Chicago, and I paid, I think it was like $400, so I could get like VIP passes and pictures with them and everything.
Goodness.
Anyways, Doug Jones was there, and I went up to give my picture, and this was at the time that my beard was very long and very red, and he puts his hands in my beard and goes like, and like, does that? He's like, ooh, yeah, he really liked my beard.
Wow.
And I was like, that's awesome. Can we do that again for the picture? But next time, make a creepy face. So I have a picture of me and that clown guy, and he's like, eh.
How funny.
It was awesome. It was really it was an amazing experience. But I didn't know he was in Batman Returns until I looked up the Predator 2 guy.
Huh.
So that was like, that's an awesome thing to find out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Do you have that photo?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to actually find it and then post it.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. All right, let's do some IMDb shit.
Okay. Are there any ones?
Well, I don't know. I haven't looked yet.
Get on it.
Okay, so I do want to know what someone has to say about hating this movie that much, because, I mean, holy shit. You scroll through it, and there is a lot of hate towards this.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right. Oh, this one's from 2021, and it's warning us of spoilers. It's called Horrible Script. Of all the possibilities that Warner Brothers had, they choose the worst one. I'm not sure if the Penguin is part of the DC comics, but if so, then Warner Brothers should have chosen a different direction. An iconic villain, and you're not sure if it, and you took the time to watch Batman, and you don't know that the Penguin is a villain.
I thought it was brilliant opening up with that too, and I love the scene of them throwing the carriage into the water. I love that.
Like this is the origin and the birth of the
Yeah.
Penguin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that the parade that Batman had to fight Penguin's thugs and not just some mugger to introduce Batman in this movie.
Yeah, there was no reason to hold Batman back either. I mean, this is a sequel, but they did that and it worked. Like, they waited. Yeah, not bad.
I realize that in the DC universe, there are some supernatural forces at work, but there should still be boundaries. What boundaries do you need to put on a fucking movie? Batman movie, no less.
Right.
Magical penguins should not be within those boundaries. They should have had Batman fighting more crime bosses. So clearly this is a kid who grew up with Christopher Nolan and didn't see the Tim Burton Batman movies until recently.
Certainly no reason to give it a 1. I mean, who would... How... Set design alone,
Well,
you know?
I mean, again, that's the thing.
Can't give it a 1.
I feel like this is written by someone who's probably in their, like, early 20s, who did grow up with Batman Begins and Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to see what they think of Jack Nicholson as the Joker. With with this giant ass gun that pulls to comes to his pants and then blows the bat wing out of the sky.
Yeah.
All right. All-star cast, director, and music. This is a 1 out of 10. That's their title. You have Keaton, Burton, Elfman, DeVito, Pfeiffer, and Walken, which should be enough for a 10 out of 10 movie. However, this movie lessens itself by the Penguin and Catwoman characters and a silly script. Huh? That's what they didn't like about it. What did they think about the first one? It is a wasted opportunity to bring to life the comic I collected in my youth. There are many moments when I'm left wondering, what was Burton thinking? He obviously never collected the comic. He obviously isn't a fan of the Batman series. I do not like this movie, and it has no replay value for me. This is from 21. Digital Beach Bum. That's your name. Yeah, man. I don't know why people have an issue with that at all.
I wouldn't give it anything less than a 7.
I mean,
maybe even an 8 on a good day. I'm feeling happy.
Yeah, right. Like all of these bad reviews just made me so angry. Like about how much they didn't like it, and the fact that they're like from 2021, right? So like I'm like, all I can think about is just like this is my parents' Batman, not my Batman. Yeah. It's like, that's why you hate it? Like, take a step back and watch it differently.
It's not perfect by any means, but you can see the amount of care that went into every scene. I mean, he really gave this movie his all, I think, directing.
Well, I think also people don't realize that this is 1992. When this movie came out, too.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, you were right. Yeah, it was 92.
Look at me.
Yeah, I know, that was a good call on that. I don't think. I mean, I feel like maybe the worst review should be a 6 or a 5, but like someone to go that far to give it a 1,
right?
All 5. The way at the.
I could understand
end.
A 5. I could even, if somebody wants to give it a 4, I wouldn't. It's all subjective.
I
don't know if I could argue a 4,
yeah.
But if you go under a 4, like, come on, man, what's wrong with your life?
That's almost like we should have like group therapy for these people. We'll get together. We'll talk about our differences, and we'll find out why you just didn't like Batman Returns.
Yeah. Again, it's not perfect, but you know what? It's wildly entertaining.
I mean, it is wildly entertaining. It's like you said, 2 hours didn't. 2 hours. This movie was 2 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Grease 2 was an hour and 58, and that one just felt like it would never end.
Oh, it was 1:58?
It was something like that. Like
this
I said, it was close to 2
Huh,
hours.
That's funny.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I thought Grease 2 was like 2 hours and 25 minutes or something.
I mean,
it
felt like a lifetime.
Yeah.
Also, because we were doing it at night and not during the day like this.
I don't even remember anymore.
I mean, I probably would have ended up taking a nap anyway.
Yeah.
God, imagine if we did Grease 2 with you working all night consecutively with only getting a couple hours of sleep.
Yeah, I would have canceled this whole podcast experience.
Art, don't you have a shout out to do?
I do. My daughter Mila, happy 10th birthday to my daughter Mila.
So that means we're gonna have to do another episode with her.
Oh,
soon.
Absolutely. I mean, we should have by now.
Yeah.
We did Toy Story,
Yeah.
which I think you're throwing up today in honor.
Mm-hmm. And this episode's not coming out for several more weeks from today.
Yeah, she's so much smarter than I was at 10 years old. She's smart in the way of, like, I'm pretty sure she's aware of the benefits of telling little white lies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, manipulated me in more ways than I even realize at this point.
But it's not for devious stuff. It's just for like an extra cupcake.
Maybe. I wouldn't put it past her.
All right, everybody.
She's a great girl.
That's awesome. I'm glad it's her birthday today.
Yeah, me too. I got to go out and finish up some gift shopping. It's funny. She sent me a text message earlier that said something like, will you bring me balloons and come say happy birthday in school, with like a teary-eyed emoji at the end. So obviously I gotta do
you have
that,
to do it. Yeah. That's all right. I'm going to go home and play State of Decay after this. So, we each have our own priorities. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Are we taking off like that?
We're taking off like that.
Yeah. Don't you want to like say a penguin line or something? I mean, you were just getting ready to cut it off like you don't care, Mike.
I mean, I do.
You just
care,
don't
but
care. Just like, all right, everybody, we're out. I've reached 58 minutes 26 seconds.
I was,
By the way,
I
did
was
you
just about to do a Batman or a Catwoman quote right there, and then stop.
Were you?
Yeah, and then I couldn't remember what quote it was going to be.
Well, that's okay. I'll give you a little bit of time. Did you put the theme song on the last one you released? Because I didn't listen to it.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes,
okay.
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
You just left it out of the one?
I left it out of Aliens and Predator 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was so rushed to get both of those out, and then I just like totally spaced it.
Right. Every Sunday, folks, Spotify.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
now on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Oh my God, all of them.
Twitter. I don't think we're on the Twitter.
No, I'm not doing Twitter shit. I'm not
what,
fucking dealing with that
buddy?
shit. I'll get too sidetracked.
You like the TikTokers? You don't like the Twitter?
I haven't even touched the TikTok either right now. But with Twitter, I'll just go down a tunnel of fucking Lauren Boebert fucking tweets, and then looking at fucking people's responses to that fucking toxic waste barrel.
You know, honestly, my daughter Mila could probably
Oh
get
my
our
God.
TikTok going.
We'll have,
she
like,
could probably. I'll just let her be in charge of the TikTok.
Our media consultant.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, the Penguin could have done with the media consultant. Instead, he's like fucking biting people's noses when they give him like not enough natural light.
At least my nose isn't gushing blood.
Gushing blood. I believe the words you are looking for is ah.